What's going on, everybody? It's another week, another good evening to have a show. We're so happy to be here on our normal day. Felt kind of weird. Cardell, happy to have you back in studio.
Been a while, man.
Feel like
Too long.
You said it felt like you was out for like a month, right?
I pretty much was.
But we told you guys March was gonna be pretty busy. It has been. It's gonna continue to be. Got a week and change left, and we got April. NBA playoffs gonna be here soon. MLS season it started a little bit, but because DC United has been away.
Mm-hmm.
They played their first home match this past weekend, which they won. It was kind of cool. 7th minute stoppage time, like 20 seconds left. Acosta got the equalizer, so that was cool. They still have yet to win first game of the season. For all those folks waiting to see what Audi Park looks like, that big new stadium they're working on over there near Nats Park, July 14th is the day. But that being said, man, we've been doing courtesy of Cardell. Damo's been, helping a little bit. We got a chance to vote this afternoon. These high school rankings,
Yep.
Coach of the Year and Player of the Year for both the boys and the girls. So without further ado, Cardell, the floor is yours.
Okay, like he said, we all took a vote earlier today, and I'm gonna start off with the girls' side. The high school girls basketball coach of the year is Fred Sweat,
Yep.
head coach for Poolsville. They finished the season 27-0 and won their first ever Maryland State 2A state championship. They beat Queen Anne by 40 points, 63-23.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Got to reward winning.
Exactly.
Got to.
And, much deserved. And the girls' player of the year, y'all will hear a lot about her in the upcoming years. St. John's freshman AZ Fudd led St. John's to a 32-2 record. They won the WCAC and DCS AA championships. And as a true freshman, she was named WCAC Player of the Year, so it's only going to get worse as this goes on.
As a freshman.
That's crazy.
We're going to hear her name at least 2 of the three more years coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 for 3. We'll see how that goes.
As long as Gino stay away, we good. Moving on.
She got to stay in town, man. She can't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Why y'all going to take my fun away?
Come on, man.
Hey, man, y'all got enough.
Come on,
Y'all beating teams by
Right.
100. in the
Didn't y'all just
tournament.
get 140 on somebody?
No comment.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right, then. Moving
Y'all
on.
good.
Moving on the boys' side, boys basketball coach of the year, new coach, Mike Powell, Archbishop Carroll. Well deserved. After last season, the 16-17 season, Archbishop Carroll, they finished 0-22, 0-17 in WCAC league play. He turned it around where they finished 17-13 his first year this season. So, much credit to him, man. That was a hell of a coaching job, what he did.
That's why he got my vote.
Right, no doubt. And boys basketball player of the year, like I said, we all voted. Y'all got to be sending to the entire focus. Don't be hitting me like I'm the only one voted.
Don't write me.
Earl Timberlake, sophomore guard from DeMatha, helped lead the Stags to a 32-5 record. And they put off the trifecta. They won the WCAC, the Alhambra, and the private school championships this season. So,
We're winning.
As a sophomore to do all that, what more can you say? Well deserved, man.
Look, man, and for those that are about to go at Cardell, yeah, we also voted. But look, man, you got to reward winning. You just have to.
I think people get away from that. It's always about stats, and that's cool. But like my, AAU coach said, if you're not winning, what does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. At least here, for this outlet, it doesn't mean anything. Like, we give you a pat on the back. It's cool.
Great
Drop
game.
30. It's whatever.
Right.
But if you're also in the stands or watching the championship game like we were,
It's work to be done.
Doesn't matter.
No doubt. So there you guys have it.
Man, I'm still stuck on that 0-22, 17-13. Like I said, I read that, and that initially jumped out. I was like, all right, well, let me read the rest of the list. A little bit more homework, but that's crazy in that conference.
Yeah. Look, man. He has a nice pedigree, all-Met player. I think he went to UVA his freshman year. Then he transferred with the assistant to Loyola in Maryland. Went to work there, had a trial with the Lakers. So he's been around winning situations all his life. So, and then before he came to Archbishop Carroll, he was at Sidwell. He was assistant at Sidwell, and they always knock off national powers. So, he just brought a winning mentality. That's what it takes, man. No, discipline, no shortcuts, no excuses. You know, I mean, and that's a great testament because, I mean, 0-22 is hard. You know, it's hard.
That's rough.
And to have that success in his first year is going to attract more talent so they can try to build off that. That's what it's about, man. I mean, much respect to him. I didn't have a chance to catch up to him this season, but I will definitely next season, maybe this summer. So definitely keep an eye on him, but it's well deserved.
Definitely. All right, so our guest this evening, we have Chris Smart here with us. So first off, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing well. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, we good.
We're
Glad to have you.
Good.
Happy that you're able to get in throughout the weather.
Oh yeah,
outside.
glad to be here.
Yeah, this always
It's not
happens.
that bad, yeah.
Every Tuesday. Every Tuesday this happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it started as rain. It's just now starting to pick up a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
My part of Virginia, I woke up to hail.
Oh,
It was light hail, but I'm
hail
way out.
nonetheless.
I'm way out there somewhere though. So Cardell, the floor is yours.
Chris, what motivated you to even begin with the company CMartyFit?
Probably two things. One thing, just I really believe that if God he bless you with health, you know, he bless you with the body, you might as well take care of it. So I feel like if you have a body, you're an athlete. Everyone can be a part of fitness, no matter what fitness level. And then another part was just me being a basketball player, just the stuff that I learned through sports, just the lessons, the habits I picked up, and I transferred that to my business. I transferred that to the gym, and so that's part of the reason I probably moved so fast in less than a year. It's probably been about 10 months. So yeah, that's what motivates me.
How did playing basketball in the WCAC in college create that foundation where, you know, when you step inside, you know, the trenches as far as training, you know exactly what to do with different clients, whether they have an athletic background or not. You know, how did all that, you know, establish that foundation for you?
Two things. First of all, just playing in this area, period, is just competitive. It's going to make you compete. I mean, so from 13, 14 years old, playing on DC Assault, playing in WCAC, I just learned how to compete. Like every night, you playing against McDonald's All-American, NBA player, All-Met player. So I didn't have any nights off in the WCAC. And then the college part, my college career was completely different from what I thought it would be. I went to 3 Division I schools, had a mediocre career, and college was rough, man. I had to compete. So like I transferred that to college, and it's a dog-eat-dog world in college. It's completely different. So, you know, I did what I could with it, and, you know, I just kept that competitive spirit, transferred that energy into a different lane, and it's going well for me so far.
Okay, one thing I'm noticing, especially in basketball, on the men's and women's, girls and boys side, it's a number of athletes going down a lot with leg injuries, knee, Achilles, ankle, and they going out for a long time, even though with the advances, you know, training, nutrition, and all that. From what you can tell, what is the issue with that? What do you feel is the core of that?
Well, actually, you know, being in this field that I'm in, going to 3 schools is a blessing because I saw 3 different strength programs, 3 different coaching philosophies on just taking care of the body. And, you know, from what I've seen, a lot of coaches, it's just like, go, practice, game, travel. And some places we don't really take care of our bodies. So, and then some programs do take care of their bodies. And I just feel like coaches need to get educated on that more. Like sometimes you'll have an athletic trainer who'll be like, hey, coach, we need to do this. We need to take an hour out of the day to stretch or, you know, just treatment. Sometimes coach will be like, nope, we got to get shots up. We got to get ready for this game, which I understand because he got his job on the line. It's competitive. So there needs to be a balance. That's what I think it is. And like I went to St. John's versus McNamara game. I saw like they had the foam rollers, they had the bands to stretch. We didn't have that in high school.
Yeah.
So I do see, you know, a transition from not doing anything to, you know, taking more care of the body. Like I see from college to high school. They definitely doing it in the pros as well.
What's the difference between training, you know, clients that work 9 to 5s compared to athletes where this is their full-time job?
I'll probably say the 9 to 5. It's you have to motivate them more because the gym isn't a part of everyone's lives, and some people feel like they don't need it, And sometimes you might not need it, but it is just healthy to do something. And then people got to realize there's a goal, and you got to sacrifice. You got to work for it. So if you have someone with a 9 to 5 who never played a sport, they might not get that at first. So that's my job, to come and motivate them, light a fire under them, basically. With athletes, they understand. They know the work they got to put in. It's just you got to make them do it.
Right.
You know. So.
What do you do in a time where it seems like training overload? There's so many trainers everywhere. What do you do to kind of stand out from the rest? Where a lot of clients will be like, I want to go to you.
I just I'm young, so I can relate to a lot of my clients are around my age, so I can relate to them, at least to that audience. And then my older clientele, they I just be myself. I bring a lot of good energy. A lot of people who train with me after they get off work, they don't want to come to a boring trainer after they've been at work all day. So, I just try to brighten their day up. I try to make it as fun as possible. And, I'm just myself. When I was in college, any basketball team I've been on, you can ask any of my teammates, any of my friends, I was like the goofy dude. I had to bust laughing. I had the warm-up lines lit, dancing all the time. So I just, I'm myself. I bring my energy. Every trainer isn't like that. So, that's why a lot of people stick with me, and probably why I've been moving so fast so far.
Okay. For athletes, what do you recommend as far as nutrition? What should they eat and the proper rest so, it can help with their regimen so they won't break down the game? Yeah, part of that, the easiest is probably just, drink as much water as you can, stay hydrated, get your electrolytes, like with Gatorade, and then eat a lot of protein. Protein builds muscles. The whole season, you're breaking your muscles down. You're going to be sore, so, just get as much protein as you can to build that muscle tissue back up. Yeah, it's simple. Right. In any field, it's, as much as you may know, it's a lot to be learned. Who do you kind of look to or, follow to help you keep improving as a trainer?
I watch a lot of people, right? So I watch some hardcore fitness people like Jeff Logan, Chris Harrier, and then I watch sports people. I look up to my uncle. He has DNT Fitness. I work under him sometimes as his assistant. I look up to Toby with ETC Champions. I just ask them questions all the time. They inspire me. And then I know Jimmy Butler's guy. What is it, like stack training or something? I look at a lot of stuff. I'm always open to learning. I've learned a lot in the past year. Of course, I can learn more. So, I watch a whole bunch of people. That's just a few I named off the top.
Okay. Down the line, where do you see CMartyFit? Where do you hope to see CMartyFit?
I hope to see it definitely nationally, but international. I want to go as big as I can with this because I've moved fast so far. Never had a 9 to 5. I kind of got into this shortly after college, so it'll be a blessing if I can keep it going. So definitely internationally with it.
Okay.
All right, so I had a few questions. Had a few questions for you. Probably helping my mic was on. So you talk about your experience in college. How it was really competitive. You said it wasn't the greatest thing.
Man.
But how has that helped shaped how you train? Going through that, coming out on the other side when, like Cardell mentioned, you have different type of clients on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right. So I basically college was I learned that, you might think it's hard, but it could get a lot worse, So we're going to have obstacles in life. So I tell my clients, I try to relate real life to training. You're going to have an obstacle. You might hit a plateau. You might think you did everything you can. You might not see the result. But you might have to do more. You might have to put a little more work in, just to get to where you want to get to.
All right. If you can pick out one, if you can't, that's fine. If you could think about a story with a client which, you were talking about sometimes you plateau and breaking through to hit that goal. Is there one that stands out to you a little bit more than others?
Man, I got a few client stories. Definitely one. She came to me. I'm not gonna say her name, but she came to me. She was a little overweight, and she just had no clue, what to do. And she thought walking on the treadmill was enough. Was working out. And there were times where she quit. She thought she couldn't lose weight. And, I had to blow her phone up. I'm sending her articles. I'm calling her. I'm sending her Instagram videos, Instagram models, trying to motivate her. And, finally she broke through. She started understanding the routine, changing her diet, and she ended up losing like 25 pounds with me. So shout out to her. She know who she is if she's listening, but I'm not going to say her name. Yeah.
All right. And then, we talk about this all the time. As a former athlete, you're a former athlete. Sometimes when players, realize that they may not make it to that next level and don't realize how to stick around a sport or be involved in sports, if you could, is a selling point, how would you recommend getting a trainer or getting into taking care of your body, nutrition or whatnot, to a person that wants to stay around? Athletes.
Right. The first, you talking about just with training specifically, or just staying around? Training specifically. Honestly, the first thing I would say is stay in shape, because that's how I got into it. People saw me staying in shape. They saw me in the gym committed every day, and someone approached me about the opportunity, and it happened. So I say stay in shape because you need to practice what you preach. So when you trying to get people to change their lifestyle, they need to see you do it. They need something they can believe. You can go up there and say whatever you want, but if you're not practicing that, how do they know what you're talking about? So, yeah.
All right, Cardell, you got anything else for Chris?
I do have another question for you. What was the hardest transition? Like you said, you played in the WCC, DC Assault.
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest transition coming from that to college? Because a lot of kids need to understand, like, just because you might have been nice at those levels guarantees nothing in college.
Yeah. It was two situations. So the first, I got to Marshall. I had seniors in front of me. I'm not sure if y'all remember who DeAndre Kane is, but he ended up transferring to Iowa State and had a crazy season there. But that's one of the people I was behind. That's one of the people I had to go against in practice every day. And he kicked my butt every day. He's a point guard. He's 6'4", 210 pounds, and he wasn't the only guy. I had at least three seniors in front of me, and they just destroyed me every day, but it made me tougher. So you could be that guy in high school, but I mean, college, this is another animal. Guys are stronger. Those are grown men. Guys are stronger. They're faster. Their IQ is higher. They just know the game better. And then if they're familiar with the coach, just be ready. Definitely.
All right. Hey, look, we want to thank you for sharing your time with us this evening. Yeah. You're not leaving, though, because nobody's allowed to leave. No. Any visit here to the Focus without
I like to talk. I talk all day. So that's
right. Hey, look, keep that same energy for that. We got that coming up towards the end of the show, but we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we got our weekly Wizard segment. You're watching The Focus. We'll be right back.
How important was it to get this done, knowing the playoff implications?
Yeah, it was a good win for us, knowing that would be the case. We only played them 3 times and we split first 2 games, so it was good. If we do get in a situation, we definitely will have the tiebreaker with the Pacers. They're banged up, but we wanted to come out here and get the win. I thought we did a good job. We had some lapses on the defensive end that we have to clean up. But overall, a good win. A lot of good passing, 29 assists. I thought Thomas and Brad, our starters, did a great job of really setting the tone and playing good basketball. And then we've had some defensive lapses that we have to clean up.
Todd had to get more points today than he had in the last 4 combined. What did he with for the matchup against them?
Yeah, he works hard on his free throws. It's good to see that he made all 6 of them, but I thought our guys, when he sets the screens and rolls and they have to make tough decisions, and he finished tonight. It's something he's been working on. He still, I thought he was terrific. He could have easily played more minutes, but they played super small in the 4th quarter. So, and then we had a pretty good lead, so I didn't have to put him back in, but he could easily have 25 points tonight. But it was good ball movement. He's when we move the ball and we share the basketball, he can get a lot of easy buckets for us.
On the screen as well, yeah, he's obviously worked well throughout the years. Is it something been a little bit of a struggle or an adjustment with him doing with another partner out there?
No, I think it's depending on what teams do. We just have to move the ball. I don't care really who gets the shots. I just want to make sure they're good shots, and we're spreading the offense around. 12 shots, 11 shots, 8, 7, and 7 are starting 5, and you can ask any of one of those guys. They don't care. They just want to make sure it's good basketball, good possessions, and I thought they did that tonight.
Scott, you talked about some defensive lapses. What have you been overall about the team's defensive persistence with them?
Well, we started the second quarter, into the first quarter, and the start of the fourth quarter. We got to stand in front of the basketball. We can't gamble and try to get points off of our defense, off of a gamble steal. It's play solid defense and make them miss a shot. If you get a steal in our shell, that's great. But if you don't, you got to make them miss shots. They can't just keep dribbling around you and expect to keep playing. But I thought our first unit came in and did a good job throughout the game tonight.
What was different about your defense against Boyan this game compared to the last two when you had some success against you guys?
Well, last game he got free on a lot of our curls, and we put a lot of pressure on our bigs to help out, and I thought they did a terrific job. March started it, and Jan did a good job in that first half, and came back in the second half and did the same thing. Boyan's good. We know that. We've had him. He makes tough shots, and he made a couple of tough shots tonight, but we didn't give him the easy shots like we gave him a couple of weeks ago.
Coach, why do you think the bench team has struggled a little bit?
Well, I think it's you got to focus on defense. Bottom line, if you focus on offense, the ball gets sticky. The game doesn't reward you. I thought tonight we were looking for shots instead of looking for stops, and it's simple. We look for stops, you can get shots, and if you think the other way around, you're just hoping that they miss and you're hoping that you make.
Welcome back to The Focus. Thank you guys that did tune in at the beginning of the show. If you just tuned in, you missed a great segment with Chris Martin. Right now, Scott Brooks just finished talking. This was after the Pacers win. So, weekly Wizard segment begins. Cardell, you were at the game on Saturday. I was not. You and Jarrell were. So you want to share your thoughts from that?
I mean, they got a much-needed win. It was a tough win. They had to get that win. It was they both were tied in the season series, and they needed that to get the tiebreaker in case they finished tied. For possibly home court. They fighting right now with the Cavs for 3, 4, 5. Especially after the beating they took the game before at home. It was kind of like, man, we hope we can deliver, but they did. They beat the Pacers 109-102. They held the Pacers to 45% shooting, which was much better than the last game. They finished with 9 steals, and then they dished out a team game high 29 assists. I think the Pacers had 20. When they win, that's when their assist totals around that. If you notice when they win, because that means everybody clicking. And they held Victor Oladipo to 18 points on 7 to 16 shooting. He ate them alive in that last game. Truth be told, it would have been a blowout if it wasn't for Lance Stevenson. He came off the bench with 25. And I think Gortat, the days off, did him well because he looked like Gortat, when he's playing well. He had a great game. He was actually the X factor on both ends, honestly. Al Jefferson got started. I think he scored 8 of the Pacers' first points, and I'm just like, man, here we go, But he got in them on defense and battled them, and he contained them, and then he delivered his performance. He had 18 points, 6 of 8 shooting, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And that's kind of a good slump. He been in a slump for a while. It's just like, come on, go tell to the point where Brooks had to sit him, and keep Mahimi out there or go small with Mike Scott and keep Morris, man. So that was a good, it was good seeing that he has it in him, but he can, if he has rest. But back-to-backs and stuff, I'm not so sure, man, because like I said, when Father Time hits, it hits. And it hit him hard in the different, times this season. Marquise Morris, he's another player that's been consistent on offense. You know, efficient shooting, 15.6 of 11 shooting, 2 of 5 from deep. Bill added 19 points and 6 assists. Sato, he posted 12 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and Kelly Oubre came off the bench with 16. It was a nice all-around win for the Wizards. It wasn't just one guy that just took it on. It was a nice little group effort, and they needed that win to stay in the race. Because had they lost, then they would have been battling like the Sixers and the Bucks, you know, the lower tier in that standings, and they don't want to be in that mix. And, you know, definitely try to get home court. You know, at least for one round, it could buy Wall time to get his rhythm. Even when he come back, he still got knocked the rust off, and it's gonna be vital, man, because the Pacers. They got the win, but the Pacers didn't have Miles Turner. Sabonis didn't play either. So, you know, they were wounded, but so we. So whatever. You know, it is what it is, man. Get the win by any means necessary. Anybody gonna feel sorry for you, especially at this point in the season. It's basically playoff time.
Everybody hurt.
Exactly. So they did what they needed to do. They just gotta stay consistent, man. Keep the turnovers low. You know, when they lose, the turnovers are high and assists are low. It's real. It's not really complicated, man, and it affects their defense because they get frustrated in the offense, and then next thing you know, guys having wide open layups. Yeah, it just get ugly after that. So as long as they just stay focused and play within themselves, they could be fine and keep buying. And I mean, the more they win, they buy Wall more time where he can take his time coming back. That's the beautiful thing. So when he comes back, like you said, he gonna have a lot of energy. He can be ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It's just about getting his rhythm and knocking the rust off.
And that's the part I think people should be encouraged by if you're a Wizards fan. If you're an opposing team in the East, that is something you have to consider is their best players going to have fresh legs for the playoffs. You know, we're less than 13, 14 games left now. This is officially the home stretch of the regular season. You talk about the win over the Pacers. They got a big one tomorrow night. The Wizards do against the Spurs, who beat the Warriors the other night. And as Octavia said, yeah, I know the Warriors were missing a bunch of people that mattered. Doesn't matter. They've been without Kawhi all year. You know, so
yeah, LaMarcus is holding it down for them.
Yes, he has.
Tony been in and out.
The Young Bucks, DeJounte
Murray. Yeah, they've been in and out.
Bertans. You know, San Antonio's done what they do best. Next man up to a whole different degree. So the Wizards are gonna be a tough game on the road tomorrow night, but they still need to take care of business because when they get back home, you got 3 games in 5 days starting this weekend. So you can't afford to drop any big games now because if I'm any team in the East, the last team I want to draw in the first round are them Sixers. I want to avoid them at any cost. And I know that sounds kind of crazy to some folks.
It doesn't.
The last thing you want is those little kids, because Ben and JoJo care not about who you are
at all
or what it is that you're doing.
It's gonna take a lot to beat them, man. It's gonna take a lot.
Yeah, because they're gonna go hard.
And right now, the way it's looking, if they get out the first round, they're gonna meet LeBron in the second round. So you don't want to be tired dealing with that monster boy. So, especially with Kevin Love back, you know, and I tell people all the time, it's not LeBron that kills the Wizards. He gonna do what he do. It's Kevin Love, man. He's the X factor.
You load up on LeBron, next thing you know, he's wide open in the corner, knocking down a 3.
Like he
you
always
switch
is.
Everything. Next thing you know, Love's banging out your guard on the block. He getting the easy too. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough, but definitely encouraged by the job the Wizards have done with John out, and they've grown as a team. You know,
and shout out to Scott Brooks, man. He don't get enough credit. That play, I was actually at the gym watching it against the Celtics. When they came back, that last play with Jody Meeks.
It was a beautiful play.
To hit that 3. I'm like, man, that's a hell of a set. That's scouting right there. That's knowing, seeing, all right, this is how we could beat it.
Yeah, because
Otto, if you ain't open, and Marcus Morris still right there. It worked perfect, man. And Otto made the right read.
To try to go block the layup. It's like, what are you doing?
And when he got there, he realized, man, gave up a
No, actually, he ain't even trying to block the layup. He was just set there. He just didn't move. It was kind of like a zone out of bounds defensive play, and he stayed there. His problem was he forgot who was behind him. I don't even think he really took a picture of everybody around. I think he was so focused on the ball and Bill and Porter.
Because he turned his head,
like that. So, and then he had Marquise, I believe, was taking the ball out. Marquise could have ran out of bounds quickly to the corner. So I think he was more watching him. He forgot about Meeks. You know,
play.
So it was a hell of a play. And then Meeks knocked down that shot. I think that boosted them to get that win over the Pacers, you know, a few days later. Like he's doing an excellent job because the season could have went to hell without Wall, you know, especially so
we've been talking about potentially finding another coach especially in this wonderful city in which people don't overreact at all. Yes, that's sarcasm. All right, so the Wizards are 40-30 on the year. They're 20-15 on both the road and at home. Obviously, you need to be a little bit better at home in playoff time. But I'm going to give them a little bit of a, a little bit of an out here, just because missing John is kind of a big deal.
Right.
And to the whole, they're better without John crowd. Y'all are very quiet.
Let's go ahead.
Nonsense.
Go ahead and leave that in the past, guys.
Nonsense.
Hey, look, I want to leave it in the past, but it was so loud.
irritating.
It really
It's so
was.
crazy. And it's just like, how could you look at them, even when they're winning? I'm looking, and the only thing I could think of, I was like, man, I can't wait till John gets back. So,
That's why
like, Tomas gets to play that Sean Livingston role, and you get to have fun things. I can't wait to see what fun small ball lineups you get to see in the playoffs when John gets
No, sometimes as a team, you just got to block out outside noise, man, because that don't even make sense.
And I give them credit, too. They've done
And
a
then you
solid
see
job.
Bill after the Boston game, you're like, man, I need John, hurry up. Because it's not easy playing that leading role. Like the role Bill has to play, Wall had to do that from day one. That's not an easy role. You got to play. You got to guard all these crazy point guards in the league and still dish out 20, 10, and 5.
Watch
2
teams
steals.
defensively load up on you.
Exactly, and bring that every night, 82 games. It's not easy, man, and people take it for granted because they're not out there. But Bill, I think this stretch made Bill appreciate him. But in a sense, Wall sit down makes him appreciate his teammates. Like, all right, I got help.
Right.
I don't really have to. I can focus on other things. I don't have to do it all myself no more. And so I think it's just gonna make them stronger if they handle it right and they come in, they blend quickly, which I don't think would be a problem. And it should be fun, man. It should be a fun playoff. Like I said, they're in the mix. To possibly battle to come out the East. They in that mix because even though Cavs got LeBron, they got the pedigree. They still got a lot of unproven pieces that they brought in. And then look at their coaching, situation with Lou. You don't know how that's going to affect them. So it's right there. And the Raptors, I know they winning and stuff, but I got to see it in the playoffs. Like I love
every
DeRozan,
They
but
never
that
show up
ain't
in the playoffs.
that's what I'm saying. And then that comment DeRozan said last year will
I was
forever
about to say,
bother me.
I mean, you can't
They
let
got LeBron.
you can never leave.
That will forever.
You
bother
can never
me,
let that
man.
one go. Nah.
I mean, look, these are all valid points, and this is why we felt the way we felt at the beginning of the season, where we don't mind reminding folks that we said at the beginning of the season we felt like this team was capable of coming out of the East, and we meant that. We still believe that at this time, and we finally get a chance. We're almost here to see. Well, this season is essentially we're gonna find out what this season comes down to.
Because during this era of Wizards, since Wall got there, this is their best chance outside of that year when he broke his wrist with Paul Pierce when they had a chance to beat
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, they would have got to the Eastern Conference. This is their best chance. This is their best team since then, and they're young. Like Bill, 23, Oubre, 21, 22, Porter's 23. Sato he played OC, he stayed OC, but he 25. Wall just 26, 27. They're young. It's a young core, and everybody every time they lose, blow up the team. Trade everybody for Anthony Davis and stuff. I'm like, man, look, I gotta relax.
You gotta let them go through this. Like, just like, what's it called? We waited for a bunch of years where, the Clippers supposed to be the end-all, be-all in the West.
And never got
Quietly
there.
Golden State drafted, let that run its course, and next thing you know, boom, the West got a whole new problem on their hands because they didn't panic. They let them grow, and you gotta let stuff be sometimes. But that's our Wizards segment for this week. As always, get over to finestmag.com, get over to mymonosports.com for your Wizards coverage, amongst many other things here. But you're watching The Focus. We're going to take a quick break. During the break, we got some the final high school boys and girls rankings. So hope you guys take those in. And when we get back, rapid fire. You are watching The Focus. All right, folks, the final high school boys and girls rankings of the year. That was what was just up on the screen. Okay, guys, we are here at that time of the show. No guest is allowed to enter and leave without participating in rapid fire. Only one person has the questions, and lucky us, we get to see what they are. So how we're going to do this, Cardell asks the questions. We're going to go around the room in an orderly fashion. We'll start with Octavia, then you, Chris, myself, and we'll repeat until we're let out the torture chamber.
All right, man.
It's not that bad, I promise.
Okay.
Memphis legend Penny Hardaway is the new coach at Memphis. He replaced Tubby Smith. So, how do you think he will fare?
I think he'll be good. I think it's a good move for them as an organization as far as, a business standpoint, to have him back there. But to me, it's still kind of up in the air. I just really want to see how he, gets players to believe in his program, how he gets players to come to the school to play for him. I don't know, because I feel like this age group, they don't really know, like, Penny. Like, they don't really know him. So I think it's a good move. I'm just kind of interested to see how it's going to work out.
Cool. Playing at Marshall, I was in Conference USA when Memphis was in Conference USA, so they were like a powerhouse back then. Like, they were top 25 every year, but they had a lot of talent from Memphis. So maybe Penny Hardaway being a Memphis product, they can get back to getting those top players in Memphis, because they do produce, a lot of talent out there. I think just his name alone will get those players back, and I see players buying into his program just off of respect. So I think he'll be fine.
I'm with Chris and Octavia on this. I'm not a big fan of how all this stuff went down, because there's a whole lot of speculation in terms of how somebody lost their job for somebody to get their job. But I know that's not the question you asked. But I felt like it was right to touch on it. With Penny, look, man, you're a black coach. It's college sports. All that wonderful stuff that has been shared, I do agree with. You're on the clock. You're going to have to produce. Obviously, I do think his name is going to help put butts back in those seats. Mm-hmm. But even on recruitment, it's more than recruitment. You guys are going to have to win. So I'm just here to see how this turns out.
I got one more thing on that. I ain't like what Tubby Smith said about transfers, too. Me being a transfer, talking about like how I guess he saw this week was, a bad move or something like that. So you never know what people are going through. Like that college basketball really affects, just being an athlete in general really affects your mental. I know I had a lot of down times when I was an athlete. So, yeah.
And, I could piggyback off that. Yeah, you're right. But I think he was more talking about the kid. Like, it's a different situation why people transfer.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think he just more talking about the kids. Like, look, man, you can get playing time by earning it. And they like, man, they come in thinking they supposed those type of kids. I think he more focusing on those. But if you transfer and whatever, like they transfer sometimes because they graduated early, or they might transfer early because a family member where they're from died or something. It changes their whole life. They got to be close to home. It's all but all the kids that transfer, it ain't just because. You know what I'm saying? Like, for serious reasons. Some of them just running. Right. And that's why I think he's addressing the runners. But for me, for as far as Penny, I think he going to attract the kids, because what a lot of people don't realize, he was coaching Team Penny on the EYBL circuit.
Definitely.
So he already got the pipeline. That's part of the reason why they said, they didn't want Tubby back. And why some people feel like he was undercut, because a lot of the top kids in Memphis weren't coming to Memphis because they played for Penny. Mm-hmm. And they be like, they saying, well, Penny held him back because he wanted the job. So he already got that on lock. They gonna definitely come, and nationally they know because his team Penny's playing against them.
Yep.
So you seeing firsthand when the opposing guards or whatever center, the opposing teams, the defenses, whatever the offensive sets that he's putting to try to beat you. So you kind of got an idea. Plus he also got the NBA pedigree and all that. Like, they know who he is, man. Like when anything NBA associated with you is gonna kind of give you a leg up.
Right.
But like y'all said, in game, he got to get it done. X's and O's, and we won't know till we know. Mm-hmm. And same thing like with Big Pat and everything like that. We won't know till we know. So that's the only thing, because if he not winning, like I say, he might get a strong recruiting class next couple of years, but if they go on like 8-26 or something,
not going to happen.
That class not going to be there no more. So, just give it time, and, we'll see what happens. My next question is, Kyrie's been out, L&E. MRI said he has no structural damage, but now it's saying he wants to get a second opinion because he's still not feeling right. Are you concerned about not just him, but the Celtics overall?
Yeah, because it's not like he's the only one that's injured right now. Of course, he's the main person that they're worried about. But, I mean, all the injuries that they've suffered in the past week and a half or 2 weeks, however long it's been between him, Smart, Jaylen Brown, everybody that's getting injured, and even, go all the way back to the first game of the season with Gordon Hayward. So it's definitely of concern. And I feel like, of course I don't know Kyrie personally, but I feel like he's the type of player that wouldn't just sit out because he can't. I don't feel like he's the type of player that would just sit out to rest, just, because like we talk about, certain players that do that, but a lot of times those are more players that are a little bit older. Kyrie, to me, he's still young. So I feel like he has that fight in him where he wants to play. And I think the reason he's getting a second opinion is because he really wants to play and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And of course he doesn't want to, injure himself to the point where he's not himself going forward for the rest of his career. But I definitely think it's cause for concern. They were doing well. They're playing tonight without him again. So, it's definitely concerning for the entire organization.
Yeah, it's definitely concerning. There was a lot of hype for the Celtics going into the season. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, like, Kyrie, he made a bold move asking for the trade request. So, I think his mental, it'll affect his mental just – hey, I want to get out of here. I want to go to a better place. Now he's hurt, approaching playoffs. So it's definitely concerning. But like she said, Kyrie, he'll bounce back. He wants to play. That's the vibe we all get from him. So, but, yeah, I'm definitely concerned.
Yeah, it's definitely cause for concern, as both Octavia and Chris shared. You lose Gordon Hayward, there's supposed to be, the top tier there 1-2 punch. Mm-hmm. With, you having the help from, Jalen and Jason. As extra firepower. Kyrie is one of the best point guards in the league going down. So it's a primetime player. It's going to be hard for any team to lose two guys of that caliber. And, my biggest thing is I just hope that the knee's all right. I hope he does get a second opinion. I hope they get to the root of what the actual problem is so they can go from there and figure out how to deal with it. But, yeah, it definitely cause for concern. And I know Brad Stevens done a remarkable job dealing with, Kyrie being out thus far, Jalen being out, and just Jason and some of the other guys. Marcus has been in and out of the lineup. It's an opportunity for Terry Rozier off top. Comes to mind as a big opportunity for you. You said you're looking for an opportunity, and you potentially have a big one on your plate, possibly being the Celtics starting point guard in the playoffs if Kyrie does not come back. But, yeah, it got to be cause for concern. You were the number one seed. Right. At one point, injuries have you no longer number one.
Yeah, they was on like a 15-game winning streak in the beginning of the year, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with all y'all. It's a concern, especially being this close to the playoffs.
12 games out.
And I'm looking at it, what's alarming me is I'm going to go get a second opinion. That means something ain't right with the communication, maybe between team doctors and him. That's just, that's not, that's not the ordinary thing you hear. I know we've seen it with Kawhi this season a little bit, but he's been out the whole year. This is different, and they need him to make any noise in the playoffs. They have I love Rozier. He's promising, but he ain't ready for that prime time action. That's a different. Like, you think the lead to the playoffs? And when everybody in kill mode, it's like
it ain't no game, ain't no nights off.
Yeah, and coach is like, oh, you ain't playing today. And said, like, we ain't got time. This game could cost us a series. It's just as simple as that. So
I like Rozier though.
Oh no, I like him. Don't get me wrong. He's good. Don't get me wrong.
He got some heart with him too.
Man, you got hard you want.
He got some heart with him.
But when you don't know, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? That's the only part. But no, he look, he gonna get paid. He gonna get that nice bag. Yeah. So he gonna be coveted. But is it something like dealing with Ben Simmons or he got matched with maybe Eric Bledsoe, Wall? It's a different animal, man. So. I just hope he get healthy so we can really see them guys, rumble like how it should be done. That's that. My next question is Trae Young declared for the draft. Not really too long after they lost in the tournament. You hear both sides, and a lot of people don't think he's going to pan out. A lot of people think he will. What do you take? What are your thoughts on him, doing damage in the league?
Well, I always wish everybody the best in their endeavors and everything, and I do think he will, get there. I don't know if I'm sold that he's all the way there yet. I think it's a little early for me. I feel like he maybe should have did another year, but I get why he came out. the hype is strong now. You know, if it's any time to kind of go, I guess it would be now. It is, to me, a little bit concerning the fact that he declared so soon, right after the loss, because it kind of makes me think, like, what's his head even in it anymore? You know, is he just like, you know, it is what it is. I had a great season, so I'm going to just go ahead and declare, not saying that that's what it is. But I would have liked to see him play another year, just me personally. But, I mean, one and done, that's what they're going to do, so.
Yeah, I think he had to leave. You know, if the longer you stay in college, the more they pick your game apart. And as Oklahoma's season, they really started picking Oklahoma apart, and they really started picking Trae Young's game apart. So that's first. Second, he's talented. I mean, he led the league. I mean, led the country in scoring. He led them in assists too, right? That's hard. I mean, I know he had the freedom to do it on his team, but that's hard. That says a lot. And he reminds me of Steph Curry in college, and he did it in the Big 12. I might be a little stretch. I'm not going to say he's going to be Steph Curry in the NBA, but the kid is talented. I think when he gets some more size on him and he gets used to the NBA game, I think he'll be fine, honestly. I mean, Lonzo Ball, he's having an okay season. He's doing okay, but
yeah,
I think
you said it right, okay.
he's having an okay
season. I forgot all about him.
Yeah.
LeVar been quiet.
LeVar been real quiet, but I think
is. That's probably why I forgot. Okay.
I think Trae Young I think he'll be fine.
I think the kid will be fine. Yeah, you got to go. Like you said, the longer you stay in school, the more they pick your game apart, you lose your value. I think we all knew he was here for a one and done to begin with, so I don't think it's a surprise. Mo Bamba also declared, to no one's surprise as well. I'm probably cool off the Steph stuff. I get the similarities or whatever, but I'm cool off the Steph stuff. I guess what I'm most impressed by was he led the country in assists. I feel like that's part of the game that doesn't get talked about enough. I know, he can shoot it from deep and all that stuff, but that's the part I think that's going to help you stay in the NBA, help you stay in the league even when you're struggling with your shot, is the fact that even if you're coming off the bench at the beginning of your career, you can run a team already. Like, that's what I'm impressed by. I think that's the things that's going to help steady him until he figures out with the physicality. And even with NBA coaching, I don't think you're going to get that green light you had in college initially in NBA.
Definitely
so
won't.
The playmaking is what, I'm impressed by going to the next level.
I think he'll be fine eventually. I just tell people this: he's 18, I'm 19. He's coming out of college as a freshman. What player that's entering the draft is a finished product? He's going to get better. You see what I'm saying? So he has weaknesses. He needs to get stronger. I think that's why he kind of fatigued down the line as the season went along and all that. Once he get on the NBA regimen, that can be corrected. He can get better defensively and all that. A lot of people focus on what his flaws are and don't focus on what he can do.
Right. That's
good. You know what I'm saying? So in this wide open league where you really can't touch guys and stuff like that, his skill set would translate greatly. Now it depends on what team he goes to and their system and all that. Sometimes it's rocky at the beginning because a lot of coaches just have their set system and you got to kind of fit in that instead of adapting your system to your talent.
You need to go to the Knicks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Or
see Steve Nate talking about that earlier. Get Frank out of here.
Like either him or ideally go play next to Devin Booker. Y'all both shoot as much as y'all want in the wide open system. Y'all not going to win, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
They need
in the West. That's
y'all not gonna win now.
That's a different animal in the West. I don't know. That's a different animal.
Y'all's out getting smoked by 40. It's gonna be a long trip back
and especially Devin Booker coming up on that contract. Yeah, I'm out of here. Definitely, I'm tired of this, man. So, I mean, I think he'll be fine, man. It's just he just has to prove like every other basketball player. Once you get to the NBA, everybody expects you to just be a finished product. No, you still have to keep working to get better. Maybe the hype was overblown, but, he had to leave, man. He's a top 10 pick. When you in that range, when you lottery, you got to go.
Got to go.
You can't wait. So that's just a business decision. That's just being a smart businessman, get that guaranteed money because I hate to break it up, but a couple years ago, Melo Trimble, he'd have been in the first round.
Yeah.
That's a lot of names.
Yeah, Mitch McGarry back. Look,
they went back
and they fighting to stay in the league ever since, man. So
or get in.
Come on now, thank you. So it is what it is. UMBC athletic director Tim Hall told ESPN that he intends to meet head coach Ryan Odom in the next day or two, armed with a long-term contract that includes a salary increase. That's within our realm, as he said. Should Odom re-sign with those guys or move on to a bigger program?
I mean, I guess it depends on what programs are looking at him. To me, so I feel like don't count your eggs before they hatch. So don't get too big for your britches before you find out who really wants you. So don't get me wrong, it was an amazing game. It was a great win. It was something that's never been done before. So he's always going to have that pedigree with him. But some people could look at it as a once in a lifetime thing. It happened. Like, are you really going to be able to produce like this on a higher level every night, every year, back to back, and keep getting good kids in and keeping your program up? So I think it depends on who's looking at him. I think he needs to take a seat down and figure out if there are any programs that are out there that are interested in him and see how he would fit in there before he decides what he's going to do. But, of course, the athletic director, they should be trying to keep him there, at what he's done for them this past year. They need to. Like, it would be a slap in the face if they didn't. And then he should be looking to go somewhere. But I think it just depends on who's looking at him.
Right, it definitely depends who's looking at him. And like you said earlier with Trae Young, it's a business decision. So if someone offers him that money and
he feel like he can handle it,
take it. But just looking at history, a lot of small programs like that might have like a Cinderella run, or they usually don't have those type of runs again the following year. So I would say UMBC is right for keeping him there, and I think he should definitely look into staying there and just building a program, just building some consistency. Getting to the tournament every year. Just being that power team in that conference. Yep.
I mean, it depends on what he wants his legacy to look like. You want to build a program and be known for not only just that one win, and like Chris was mentioning, turning UMBC into something a little bit bigger, something that lasts for a while. Or same time, as you said, as a businessman, you're a coach. You have the freedom players don't have. Go cash out, even if you fail at the next level or the next stop. You're going to get your money either way. So I'm not knocking you either way.
Well, I mean, so UConn, what's up, man?
UConn what?
UConn, y'all trying to hire him? Y'all looking for a coach? I'm just saying.
I'm good off
I know,
that.
man.
Hey, look, there's levels to everything. I'm not being disrespectful. Stay where you're at, and we keep it moving.
Just stay in Baltimore, man. Stay in Baltimore. Don't come to Connecticut. We ain't trying to have it out there. Okay, I got you.
You're in Baltimore. If somebody else offers you, let that be the case. I know nobody in stores is offering you, so I'm not worried about that. So Cardell, that's wrong. That's foul and unnecessary. It came from a petty player.
I'm trying to help you out, man. God.
No, you're not. Hey, look, I am, dog. You know who needs to be worried? Rhode Island need to match Dan Hurley money, or he can come on down. I'm not worried about that.
You're right about that too.
Hey, as far as Odom, I would like to see him build something there. I just think it's something when you build something that somewhere where it's never been built before. Mm-hmm. Like you set your own mark. I think that's something special. Like you say, with the state of college basketball now, even though Lyles and all those guys are seniors, they're going to be leaving. I think, like you said, like the transfer market, you can easily kind of just stay afloat if you get the right type of transfer.
Especially in this area.
Thank you. And then, like I was about to say, and then you in the DMV, it's so many times. Like I tell people this all the time. I didn't appreciate my college journey until I seen so many talented kids never even make it to college from the high school, just covering high school here. And I'm like, man, he should definitely be in college. Never get a look. College, the coaches just didn't offer him nothing, and it's just like, man. So it's so much talent here where if he recruits smart, get the right type of kids, he can, do his damage in that league, man. And what I'm saying? It's not like he in the ACC or something. Like you said, a couple horses. So I remember Lyles, he was at VCU early. And he was playing he was like you said, he was like third string. And he didn't see the floor. And then that's when he transferred. And look what happened. So they're out there. He probably got to look harder, but that's part of the job, man. You know what I'm saying? And they definitely going to be interested because of the run they just had. Mm-hmm. So they know he can coach.
He ain't got to look that hard no more. But
exactly.
Anything, that was the greatest advertising ever. Mm-hmm. This year that just happened.
Definitely.
Exactly. Look at VCU now. Everybody know what VCU is. But before, Shaka, and I know Anthony Grant got it started, but Shaka took it to the next level. Mm-hmm. It was not, VCU was not on anybody's radar like that, not even around here.
No.
And so they went to the Final Four, and then Shaka crazy on the sideline. He a cool coach to play. But then the Travion Grahams come and all that, man. Come on. So, hey, it is what it is, man. I just like to see him stay and do that. And then down the line to be time for that.
I was going to say, last question you got?
Here's a controversial one.
I love controversy.
Ray John Rondo says he doesn't have a problem with Ray Allen. Ronald says, man, he just want attention. The only part I've been hearing about is when he mentions my name as far as his new book coming out. I just want to talk to him man to man. I don't have a problem with the man. I'll be the fall guy, but damn. Now you in the book talking about this and that. And for me as a teammate, I probably supported Allen more than anybody on the team. All the stuff he had going on in Boston, I wasn't mad that he went to Miami. My question is, should these guys just talk and bury the hatchet or, just kind of keep their distance?
I think a little bit of both. I think they should talk, bury the hatchet. And if they decide not to be cool like that or, need to be around each other, that's perfectly fine. But they have history together. It's not like they just played on the team together. They won a championship together. They've spent a lot of time together. So I do think it would be nice for them to bury the hatchet. I think Rondo, he wilding a little bit. Told him he wasn't mad when he left because he was, because he made that known. I don't know why he's trying to say he's not mad now, but can't backtrack. But like everybody has said today, it's a business. He had to do what he had to do for himself. And, it's hard for Rondo to sound credible with some of the things because of the other things that has gone on in his career after he's left Boston and all these other places that he's been. So it's kind of hard for him to, try to make it seem like he wasn't an issue or he doesn't have an issue with him. But whatever it is, I hope as two grown black men, they can, talk it out and get it over with. And if they decide not to be cool, that's fine.
I think they should. They really should. They should make up, figure out what's going on. I think it's a little immature to go back and forth in the media. I think Ray Allen shouldn't have even put that in the book. Honestly, I think it's just a bad look. And like you said, they're champions, so they're going to honor that championship later again. So they're going to have to be in the same place at some point in time. So, let's just be adults about it. Let's figure it out, talk it out, and let it go. Ray Allen made his decision. It was years ago. It's a whole different era in the league. No disrespect. Nobody's even really thinking about y'all anymore. So.
Yeah.
What we talk?
They're not gonna be friends, so we can
And
skip
it's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's
You're not going to be
nothing
friends
wrong
with
with that.
everybody.
I agree with you
Play
guys.
basketball
Just stop the talking through the media. Like, I feel like y'all both know it's not
Ray
going
just
to
need
come
to.
to
I know
a
Ray
place
Allen
of anything else.
too,
So
though, but
just go on about your lives. Just stop with the open talking in the media.
I mean, I like what he said, man. All even KG and Paul Pierce in the mix, man. Doc, I think it was just a lot of immature stuff going on behind the scenes with that wasn't even necessary, and it should have been more focused on let's get as many championships as we can with this window that we have, instead of all the nonsense and stuff like that. And he was mad. A lot of them guys was mad that Ray Allen left. I definitely went back and read and stuff like that on what really happened, because some stuff you could forget about. It wasn't just Rondo. Everybody had beef with Rondo. He was just young and mature at that time. And obviously he's mature because he was facing situations like from Dallas and stuff like that where you about to be about to leave if you don't calm down. And he had. So, I'm just keeping it a buck, man. They was getting rid of him for nothing. So, he was a little immature and stuff like that. Some of the stuff you hear, like, man, I carried y'all to a championship. Like, what man, you
Come on, bro.
Like, chill. But it all it goes back to is stupid ego. Like the ego, and what is it, pride before destruction?
Yeah.
And that's what ultimately played a part. Now, at first it looked like Ray Allen just went to Miami because they had a better chance of winning the championship. But in reality, he left because Doc kind of gave Avery Bradley the spot because they couldn't come to an agreement with upper management as far as re-signing Ray Allen. Ray Allen wanted a certain amount where he felt he was owed. And they like, we not about to do that because you're declining, you older and stuff like that. So that's what management do. They'll put a young player up in your spot. So he like, oh, y'all like that? Okay, I'm going to go to our enemy, and then we going to see what's up. And that's what it was. But I don't think the players knew. So to them, it's just like, yo, you just dipped like that. And then that's what caused the riff and everything. And naturally, if you going to war with your guy and these are the guys trying to knock you off, it's going to be better because you went to the enemy.
Right.
So, but like I said, it goes back to being men and talking. All you had to do is put a call in, because you know how that ever be perceived. Like, yo, look, this was going on. This is what I got to do. They may not like it, but they got to respect it. Or they could have went up there and fought like, yo, hey, man, y'all need to sign my guy. Like, what are y'all doing? Y'all need to sign my guy. It's like with Jordan Lake and with the Bulls, he like, if y'all don't bring back Phil and Scotty, I'm out. all right, man, let's do it one more time. I mean, sometimes you gotta do that, but somebody had to communicate that to Jordan to understand, so that he knows what's going on.
Right.
They didn't do that. They handled it all around like little kids, and to a certain extent, and it's still going on. Now, to Rondo's credit, obviously he's grown, because I remember on TNT they were still talking about it, and Rondo didn't even get in the conversation about Ray Allen. He was just quiet, because he already knew like he ain't wanted to play in the media, but. Come on, man. Like, just drop it, because down the line when y'all old, they going to bring y'all back to honor. Definitely. The whole team need to be there. Because sooner or later, y'all going to see some guys not going to be there. God going to take them away. And then that's when y'all going to realize, man, we had a special time. It was a run. We brought that Celtic pride back. And we was a part of something beautiful. It's bigger than us. So why wait all that time when y'all can just embrace that right now?
You're right. And we want to thank Chris. We want to thank you for coming in, man. Truly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
As always, thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll see you guys next week on The Focus.